Today we've got a moon in Sagittarius and a grand cross in mutable signs, including the moon in Sagittarius. We have Mars joining up with Jupiter for their exact conjunction that has been coming into closer and closer range as in recent days and weeks. So let's break it down today. And I want to focus today on how you can think about self-care and the best ways to approach some of these energies. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro vibe for Wednesday, August 14th. So yesterday I shared about the moon in Sagittarius, about Mars joining up with Jupiter, and about this grand cross. So for a deeper dive into some of the bigger picture meaning and significance of some of these energies that are coming exact today, you can review yesterday's video. That was my video for Tuesday, August 12th. So as I mentioned, today I would like to shift gears a little bit and focus on, since we are here to talk about astrology for unshakable self-care, to look at how you can think about these energies in your own life and be empowered, because everything in astrology has a way of looking at it that that is inviting us to step more fully into our potential. So every astrological alignment is an invitation, and it is how we respond to that invitation that tells us whether we are doing the work to manifest the highest potential from these energies. So this grand cross is pressure. It's four squares, and I have mentioned here before, but I'll say it again. Squares are pressure. They are 90 degrees of separation between two planets, and so they are at the point in their cycle with each other where they are generating some friction, some conflict, some need for us to step up our game, to step into new possibilities, higher consciousness, new ways of looking at things and thinking about things, and an opportunity to kind of shift our way of being. And so Dane Rudyard, the commonly known of as the father of humanistic astrology from the 1900s, he said to think about the square as the time to take the wheel. So we want to think about, where do we need to steer whatever is showing up in our lives. So energetically, something is going on, and it appears in our lives in terms of, maybe a conflict with someone or something's not working right in your life, and you need to say, okay, here's what I'm going to do about it. And so it's the energy of needing to step into your own greater ability to take charge, or step things up in terms of how you can create something purposefully instead of being a victim of it. And when we think about this energy in terms of healing, which is what I am all about, whole self healing, body, mind, spirit, emotion, and our wellness in all parts of ourselves, when we think about this as a healing opportunity, it is the experience of the way that we have done things in the past, recognizing that there is another way we can approach the problem. And so we need to change our thinking. We need to update or upgrade our show up more fully as who we are, in terms of being able to have a different outcome. So if you're experiencing the same problem, as you know, before. Maybe it is wearing different clothes, but it's the same sort of pattern you've seen show up, a frustration, a challenge you've seen in your life before. The square is a reminder to change your approach. So I hope this is making sense. So what we have when we have this grand cross is an invitation to change our thinking, step into new possibilities, get creative, right? So instead of thinking, oh, I can't do this because XYZ, or because this is how it went in the past, or having an unconscious expectation or assumption about what will happen based on what we know, what's happened in the past. The square says, yeah, but how could you do it differently this time? How could you respond differently? How could you think about it differently? How could you think about your own abilities differently? How can, in this situation, you see things from a different point of view? So, how do we do that? One way is to take a step back, recognize, oh, okay, here's how I'm doing something, how I'm thinking about it, how I'm approaching it. Let me take a step back, take a deep breath, ask myself, what is happening here? How am I responding? And how could I respond differently? And sometimes it's a simple thing, and sometimes it's a big deal. Sometimes there are parts of us that are changing in big ways, but it could be a simple thing. So, this grand cross energy for today is four of those squares, all putting pressure on each other and asking us to really say, okay, I can't think about this the way I used to. I need to get creative. I need to think outside the box. I need to step into more of myself, right? Who we are and who we can be when we trust ourselves more deeply, find courage to take action. So that brings us to the planet Mars and the exact Mars Jupiter conjunction that is happening today. So, with uh, Mars energy being about action, courage, risk taking, decision making, starting new things, initiating, taking action. We can think about where we need to do that. Mars energy is also impulsive. It can be foolish. So we want to be really grounded within ourselves so that the risk taking and the courage we are stepping into is something productive. It's not something that sees us falling on our faces, but is something that says, hey, that was the moment to take that step. We couldn't have known it before, but now we know it was exactly the right thing to do. So, Jupiter is the energy of expansion, Mars is this warrior courage energy. And so, again, with expansion energy, we can have like um, impulsiveness to the nth degree, right? It kind of expand out of control. And so if we are not grounded, we are at risk of having consequences that are unpleasant, accidents, things like that. But we don't have to manifest those outcomes. And the way that we can help to align with the higher possibilities is by staying grounded, remembering who we are, and then before we take action, go, wait a minute, is this right for me? Is this something I need to do? Is this something I could be thinking about differently? And then once we're clear, we can take that action. And that is what courage really looks like. And sometimes it's about knowing what to do in the moment because we've been doing our own inner work all along to follow the invitations to transform. And so everything is ready and primed. And when we have this Mars energy show up, we can take action and it will bring positive and productive and creative new openings, possibilities we hadn't considered before. So it's the square energy is about how we create the new, but in order to create the new, we have to, especially with mutable signs, we have to let go of old thinking. We have to be humble to the bigger process. Some of the things I was talking about yesterday. So that's what I've got for you today. The Sagittarius moon is also reminding us to be in this bigger picture view of things. So philosophy and meaning, and thinking about the meaning of things, and how specifically how we're framing things. So what is your viewpoint? How are you seeing things? And how might you be being asked to see things differently to help be part of creating different outcomes? All right. So that's, it's fairly abstract, and that's partly because it can show up in different ways for each one of us. But these are the core energies we're dealing with. So there's pressure to step up our game, to step into higher possibilities for how we respond, to let go of old thinking, and to open to new possibilities. Take that step back, that deep breath, get clear about who we are, and then take action from the place of truth and being in our most empowered place of being. So there's your self-care guidelines, I guess, for today. Thank you so much for being here. I am Marina Orms, and you can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. Check out my website for ways to work with me and books I've written and so much more. Thank you again for being here and subscribing. I so appreciate your support, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.